Hey guys, welcome to the garden. Today we are going to be talking about what you can plant before your last frost date. Today is April 10th and my last frost date, the estimated last frost date for where I am is April 19th, but that is just, I just refuse to accept that as truth because we have had multiple freezes after that over the last 2 years, and so I'm surprised that the date hasn't changed much. I think it changed by 1 day for this year, and I just don't believe that to be true. So all the frost tender things will stay in the greenhouse or in the house until usually the first or second weekend in May. My rule of thumb here in South Central Indiana is don't plant anything that's frost tender until Mother's Day weekend, and I won't put my peppers out until usually the weekend after that. So today I have my little container of seeds out here. We're going to be talking about things that you can plant before your last frost day because there's quite a lot, and there's a lot in here that is I don't have, or I don't necessarily grow, or I have started as plants, or I've winter sown, or whatever. These are just the seeds. So I will take you through kind of what's in this container that we're gonna plant today, and also walk you around and show you some things that I have already planted for spring that were planted way before the last frost date. Okay, so in my little container here, this is the stuff I am going to plant today. We're gonna do some peas. So I have these Iona shelling petite peas and the sugar magnolia tendril peas. I have grown these before. I have never grown these. The thing to remember about peas is they do get kind of tall, so they need to have something to climb up. Actually, these Ionas say that they are only 28 inches tall and do not require support, but that feels pretty tall to me, so I will give them some support just in case they want to grab on and climb. We're gonna do some beets. These are yellow indeterminate mangle beets. I actually got these from our local library's seed catalog. They have a really nice seed, it's a seed share essentially, and I went and explored it for the first time last week and grabbed some of these beet seeds, and I also grabbed some milkweed seeds as well. I am going to go through my own seed collection and donate some of my seeds, but they have a really nice collection. So if you are looking for seeds of some new varieties, check out your local library because they very well may have a seed share program where you can take seeds and donate seeds as well. The next stuff is all just like lettuces and things. So I have some arugula and some baby chard that I'm gonna do. I did winter sow both of these, but I am going to direct sow some more. And then I also have some Nero Toscana kale, some spinach, and just some mesclun mix. So I'm gonna direct sow these as well. Again, I did winter sow spinach and kale, but I'm gonna direct sow some more. And then I've already actually planted these, but I didn't think about shooting this video until afterward. But I sowed some radishes. So I have purple plum, sparkler white tip, and China rose radish. I sowed a bunch of those out actually in my sweet potato bed because they should be ready to harvest way before the sweet potatoes go in. Radishes are a really fast crop. If you can get them to germinate quickly, if the weather is perfect and cooperates, you can have radishes in like 3 to 4 weeks, which is awesome. We did finally try them roasted last week and decided that we really liked them like that. So I'm going to try and plant a bunch of radishes. I'm actually going to succession sow some radishes so I can have a crop coming in each week through until it gets too hot for them. They really don't like the heat. They will just germinate and then shoot up a center stalk and go to seed. You can eat the seed pods off of radishes. I have not tried them. but to get the nice big radish roots, you want to make sure you're planting those during the cooler season. So I'm gonna plant this stuff kind of just all around the garden that I have. Right now, like you can see, it's still just tarped. So I don't have in-ground space right now to use, but I do have my raised beds, and I also have my Keter tall raised beds over on the side that I'm going to use as well. I will also show you how I squirrel proofed those because I was having issues with squirrels getting in those raised beds. So let's go plant some seeds. Okay, so I am back here with my potato bed. I already have my potatoes in here. They are mulched with shredded paper, and they're going to take a little while to actually like take off and like take up most of this room. So I am going to plant some peas back here, just in the very back part of this bed next to the board. And these should be done for the season and ready to be pulled out by the time the potatoes really take off and start to grow. So I'm going to plant some peas back here. Peas are really easy to plant. This is kind of what the seeds look like. They essentially just look like dried peas. I mean, that's what they are. It's just dried peas. So reminder, plant your seeds twice as deep as they are wide. So I'm just going to dig with my hand. I'm just going to move this mulch back as much as I can. And I'm just going to dig a little trench here with my hand along the edge here. I'm just going to drop my peas down in this trench, and I'm only doing them a few inches apart, like maybe 3 or 4 inches apart. They don't need to be super far apart. And then I'm just going to cover them back up. Now I'm going to scoot down here and do my other variety. And we planted some peas. So the next thing you need to do is just water these in really good. Once I have everything planted, I will go through with the hose and just water everything at once. That just makes life easier. The thing you need to keep in mind when you're planting seeds is don't mulch them right away. You want that soil to get nice and warm, and that will help with germination. So don't mulch them right away. I'm gonna leave this mulch pushed back here until they germinate, and then I will come back out and mulch them back. So I actually forgot to mention that you can also grow carrots right now. This is the time to plant your carrots. So under this board are my carrot seeds, and this is really the first time I've grown carrots. So I've been a little nervous because the first time I grow anything, I'm a little nervous. But if I pick up this board, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but there are some green things in this area. But nothing else. I guess there's maybe a couple over here. Nothing else really has germinated yet. So I'm gonna leave this board off for today. And I may put it back on later, but for now I'm gonna leave it open. But we're gonna do our beets kind of in like this area right here. This is where my garlic is planted. This is my garlic up here. The garlic is not doing super great. I think I maybe mulched it too much over the winter and then did not unmulch it fast enough, because it is really leggy and some of the plants have died back. So I'm not super hopeful that I'm gonna get a ton of a harvest of garlic this year, but I am gonna get a few. But for right now, I'm gonna plant some beets in this little area, like right here. So I don't have anything planted here yet. So all I'm gonna do is just kind of rough up this soil. Pull out the weeds. Grab my seeds. And this is what beet seeds look like. And I'm just gonna drop these in. And you do need to put these, you know, a few inches apart because they are going to form bulbs, hopefully. So you don't want them right on top of each other. And then just tuck them in. Beets. Okay, so we're gonna move over here to these raised beds. Before I plant in these, I wanna show you what I did to them because I have, knock on wood, squirrel-proofed them. Okay, so if you have been around for a while, you remember that I have been having trouble with squirrels getting in these raised beds. So I tried to use the forks, it did not work. I did frost fabric in the fall and it worked, but it's just too warm to use frost fabric now to keep squirrels out. So what I did was I took those same hangers, so these are just bent wire hangers, and I fed them through a piece of hardware cloth, and then over here I just used chicken wire because I didn't have any more hardware cloth, essentially. But they both work. The hangers are just threaded through to keep the metal on top of the beds. And it seems to be working. So I'm gonna take these lids off and we're gonna sew some more stuff in these beds. So right now this bed right here has some Nero Toscana kale that I winter sowed, some arugula that I winter sowed, and some spinach and chard that I winter sowed. So I am going to probably just plant some more of that stuff in here. I am gonna pull these forks out that I have in here still because they're not doing anything at this point because the beds are covered. So I'm gonna get these pulled out and then I'm just gonna plant some more seeds in here. And I really like to have my lettuce beds really kind of oversown with seeds, and I like to do them kind of in succession. So I don't like to do them all at once. So you can kind of see there's a lot of little green things coming up in this arugula spot, which is wonderful. I'm gonna plant some more to fill in over here. This kale, there's a few little babies coming up, but I'm gonna do some more seeds. And then down here, there's spinach coming up and some chard, but again, I'm gonna just fill in some empty spots with that same stuff. All right, now in this bed, we're gonna do pretty much the same thing. I just spread some mesclun mix here. I'm gonna do another batch. I have some, I don't know what this is, lettuce, butter crunch, I think, and then some blue curled Scotch kale down here. I'm just gonna do some spinach and some more mesclun mix in this bed. Done. So that is what I am planting before my last frost date. I do have some other stuff in the greenhouse. I have some kale started and some more chard started that I'm going to put out here. Those are the plants that I will let get a little bit bigger. I like a mix of baby greens and also like larger leaved greens, so I'm gonna try to get those to grow a little bit bigger to harvest its larger leaves. So I do have my radishes planted. They are planted back in the sweet potato bed. So I didn't plant more of those today, but they are in the ground. I'm gonna give everything a good water, and then hopefully in the next week or so we will have some little baby sprouts popping up. So I hope this inspires you to go ahead and get out in your garden, even though your last frost date has not come and gone, or the frost date that you have set for yourself. There are so many things you can plant now that you can harvest from in just a few weeks, really. Things like lettuces, radishes, those things grow really fast, especially in like early, you know, mid-spring like we're in right now. I know for me, today is gonna be beautiful and sunny, and then the rest of the week it's supposed to be warm but like cloudy, so that's okay. The warm air does help, and it's supposed to rain, which is good for the plants and the seeds. They love rainwater. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope it inspires you. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.